Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. If you enjoy my reading, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That way you will be notified when I upload new readings. Now today I will be doing a general monthly reading for each of the astrological signs for the month of November 2017. I'd like to remind you, though, that as the reading focuses on general energies surrounding us for the month of November, the messages may or may not resonate with you. For a more personalized reading that focuses specifically on you, please contact me at the email listed in the description box and the About section of this channel, changingphasestarot@gmail.com. You can also find pricing for readings and more information about what types of readings that I offer on my website, and that is changingphasestarot.weebly.com. You can also join me on my Facebook page, Changing Phases Tarot Readings, right? And that way we can sort of exchange messages if there's anything, any questions you might have, or any specific comments or questions related to the readings that I post. We can do that there. Now, for the monthly reading, I will be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread, plus one additional card from the bottom of the deck. That will be for the overall energy of the month, using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. Then I pull one additional guidance card from the Soulful Woman Guidance card deck, right? That's an oracle card deck. And one card from the Soul's Journey Oracle card deck by James Van Praagh just to complement our reading. So I'm wishing you all a very wonderful month of November, right? Hoping that it sends many wonderful things your way, especially, spending more time with friends and family for Thanksgiving at the end of the month. And I will see you in 1 minute for your reading. Hi Pisces, hope you're having a wonderful month. I'm here to do your November general reading. So we'll be focusing on just the energies surrounding the water sign Pisces for the month of November. And this is Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. But remember, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. Spirit, what does Pisces need to know for the month of November? Please show me the messages for Pisces. Pisces, the water sign, for the month of November. What does Pisces need to know? Spirit, please show me the messages for Pisces. Pisces for the month of November. What does Pisces need to know for the month of November? Okay, move these cards out of the way. All right, so the card that fell out, which is at the center of the reading, we have the Four of Cups. Crossing the Four of Cups, we have Major Arcana number 18, the Moon. Foundation of the reading is the Ten of Wands. In the past position, the Five of Swords. Crowning your reading, the Six of Pentacles. In the future position, Major Arcana number 8, Strength. You in the reading appear as the Eight of Swords. Your surrounding energy is the Ten of Cups. Your hopes and fears, the Eight of Wands. And the outbound energy for the month, the Two of Cups. Okay. And you have as the overall energy for the month of November, the Ten of Pentacles. Nice card to have. Okay, let me pull one additional card from the Soulful Woman Guidance card deck and the Soul's Journey deck. So Spirit, what does Pisces need to know for the month of November? One additional message for Pisces for the month of November 2017. What does Pisces need to know? Okay, and we have I embrace my body. It says, I honor and embrace all of my body. I'm receptive to her specific needs. Okay, and the card from the Soul's Journey deck. Spirit, what does Pisces need to know for the month of November? One additional message for Pisces for the month of November. What does Pisces need to know? One additional message for Pisces for the month of November. Okay, and we have guilt. Wow, look at that. It says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Okay, and we will see how this plays out here. Let me just set the cards up and I'll be right back with your reading. See you in 1 second. Okay, so I've arranged the cards so we can see them a little better here. So Pisces, we start off at the center of the reading with the Four of Cups. Now, I'll be honest, there are a couple of, before I get into this, there are a couple of difficult cards in your spread, but I think that the overall message here you are going to like. So let's just work through this. So starting off with the Four of Cups, which is really, it's the center of the reading. We know that the Suit of Cups in the Tarot has to do with our emotions, our connections, love, relationships. Also, the subconscious is also tied to intuition, right? And with the Four of Cups, it has to do with feeling slightly bored or indifferent towards something or somebody, right? You can see that here, the woman, she has 3 cups behind her, which she doesn't even, take notice of. And there's this new beautiful cup in front of her, but she doesn't look that excited about it, right? She's kind of just staring at it, right? Looking a little bored. She seems to be just staring mindlessly at the water lily in the large cup, and then, not really paying attention to the 3 cups behind her. So sometimes it has to do with just feeling emotionally unfulfilled, or bored, or not, and also maybe missing out on or not seeing other opportunities that are around you, right? And the obstacle, or what's crossing the Four of Cups, is another card that is highly intuitive, right? Which is the Moon card. Let me put it like that so you can see it. And we see here on the card the phases of the moon, right? And the moon, which is a major arcana card, number 18 in the major arcana, it has to do with, yes, intuition, right? So it's the card obviously the moon comes out at night, so it's a card that's really tied to our subconscious, our dreams, psychic abilities, messages that might appear in our dreams, intuition. So definitely during this month, pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to any messages that might be coming through in your dreams, or, maybe in messages, right? Or synchronicities, signs, things like that. Because really the card, it asks us to sort of find our inner voice, really tune into these higher levels of enlightenment, right? And if we think about how the Sun card, the sun illuminates, really shines light on a situation, gives us, a lot of sort of positive feedback or energy on a situation. The moon, it does illuminate a situation, but sometimes, we don't see the entire situation with the moon, right? It does not really fully illuminate our path. So, that's why we're asked to call on our instinct or call on our intuition to help us find our path, right? So sometimes the moon is also linked to kind of fears, right? And like past fears and how we need to face those fears head on to move on in order to be able to move on. So lots of intuition, lots of guidance that might be coming through in these, not so traditional ways, through dreams, the messages like that. And the moon also speaks of hidden things, right? Secrets, things that maybe you're not entirely or fully aware of as you move through the month. And since we have the Four of Cups, this might have something to do with a relationship. Doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic one. It could be any type of relationship, a friendship, or even a business partnership. But there might be some type of hidden, something we're finding out about during the month. And we'll see how that plays out here. What we have at the foundation, right, at the base of the reading, is the Ten of Wands. Now, the Wands suit, it's a very creative, a very fiery suit, right? It has to do with the fire signs, right? It's tied with the fire signs. And it generally talks of creativity, creative projects. It's a lot of times to do with work. It's feeling very passionate about a project or a work. But with the Ten of Wands, tens in the tarot are typically associated with endings of cycles, right? So endings and then new beginnings, because then it would sort of go back to the Ace again, the Ace of Wands with a new beginning. And you can see that on the card, right, the horse looks very, very down. The man also looks like he's very tired. He's carrying, all of these wands behind him, looking, trudging up the hill here. So it's, he's very tired. So he's been toiling for quite a while at whatever it is that he's doing. And he's feeling as though, he is very burdened, overloaded. This could be, if this is in a work environment, this could be just you taking on more than your share of the work, right? Or this could just have to do with you taking on a lot of responsibilities, right? You have been kind of never saying no to anything and just, taking on more than what you can really handle, but, not saying no to that. But we know that it is an ending, right? The Ten of Wands, it will bring in something new. So just know that you're very close to the completion of whatever this is, right? And something new could be coming in. But the foundation is that you're feeling, very, very burdened, very tired, under pressure, right? Lots of responsibilities, and almost as if, it's too much for you to handle, right? And so this is sort of fighting this uphill battle, and that's kind of how you're feeling. Now, what you have in the past position, so this could be, over the past couple of weeks or, the past month, you have the Five of Swords. Now, Swords energy it's cerebral energy, right? It's our intellect, it's what we think, but also knowing that, our thoughts do tend to manifest in our lives, right? And they're very powerful, and we can either manifest positive things or negative, depending on our thoughts. Now, the Five of Swords, it's typically thought of as being, the card of betrayal. We can see here that the woman, she has two swords, right? She's been stabbed in the back here. It looks like she's bleeding. The man he's looking over his shoulder at her, but he's walking away with the three. So, she's been betrayed. She's been stabbed in the back. Somebody might have, cheated or used an unfair advantage to win. So it's kind of it's a card that speaks of having won the battle but lost the fight, right? Because even though, he seems as though he is, he's victorious, he won the battle here, but he knows that he did something wrong. In order to win, he stabbed her in the back, and he does feel guilty because he's looking back over his shoulder at her. So, in the past, you might have been dealing with a conflict or a situation where somebody acted unfairly, right? Maybe somebody did something to hurt you, right? To betray you in some way, and it was very difficult to deal with, right? But just know that it's a card that does show that you can't act like that. When you go up against somebody, whatever the situation is, winning the battle, but winning it in an underhanded way, and by doing something that, backstabbing somebody or whatever it is, ultimately you end up losing because, you're compromising sort of yourself and who you really are in order to win, have that shallow victory there. So this could be something that you have dealt with in the past. And what you have on your mind right now in the crowning position, you have a Six of Pentacles, okay? This is earth energy. And the Six of Pentacles, it's a very balanced energy, right? And it's all about, you see that the woman, she's very beautiful, walking through this lush forest. There's, we see all the pentacles, the coins around her. And the pentacles, this is earth energy that deals with the material things in life, right? So things that are tangible, that we can actually see and touch and feel, and usually associated with our work, also with our job, our career. So anything that we can sort of touch, right? Tangible things like prosperity, the house that we're able to purchase with the money that we make, the job, anything to do with material things in the material realm. And the Six of Pentacles, it's a card of balance, right? It's a card of giving and receiving in the form of material possessions. So this card doesn't show two people, right, or more than two people, but she does. You can see that the woman here, she is sharing in a certain way with, you see the birds are, they're taking some of what she has in her basket. So she has enough for herself, but she also has enough to share with the birds here. So that's typically the energy of the card, where thinking about how in life sometimes we are on the receiving end, right? Sometimes we need somebody's guidance and help, and to, as far as finances go, we might need somebody's support and help at one point in our life, which is fine. So that person reaches out and helps us then. But then when we're more financially stable and are able to, then we also need to turn around and and help somebody else. So it's the give and take, right? It's the giving, the receiving, having the balance of when you have more than what you actually need, sharing some of that with somebody else, and just trusting that when you need support from somebody else, that person will be there to help you. So it's the give and take, right, energy. What you have coming up in the future is Major Arcana number 8, the Strength card. Now, the Strength card is a beautiful card. It's associated with the sign of Leo. And it's a card that speaks of your strength, obviously, but not physical strength, right? It's more to do with your emotional strength, right? Your ability to get things done, to stick with something, to be successful, to have the willpower to get something done. So it's inner strength, right? It's our internal strength, our courage, our confidence and willpower to really get something done, and trusting in ourselves that we are capable of getting it done, as opposed to, being physically strong. And we see that on the card we have, the lion obviously looking, as a symbol of power. We have the globe here, the crystal sort of with the insight. So the woman has the insight, and she has the strength, the emotional willpower to get whatever she is setting out to obtain, to get that, to achieve it. Okay, we have you in the spread. You appear as the Eight of Swords. Okay, so not your element, obviously. You're a water element, so that would be more to do with the cups cards that we have on here. But it appears, you appear as this Eight of Swords. Now, again, the swords, it's mental, cerebral energy. The Eight of Swords, it's a card of feeling entrapped by, something or some situation. but it's all in your mind, right? We know that with the swords cards, they are about, being, sometimes they kind of caution us not to be so caught up in our minds, right? Not to allow our thoughts to kind of get the best of us and to take or run away, allow our thoughts to really run away and control us. And so the Eight of Swords, it shows here, there's this woman, she's encircled by all of the crows, she's encircled by these swords sort of imprisoning her, and she's all tied up here, and she has a blindfold on, so she's looking very helpless, right? Feeling very vulnerable. But it's all in her mind, right? Because she's really only imprisoning herself here, okay? Her legs aren't even really tied, right? The swords, she could easily just walk through the swords to get out of the situation. And her blindfold, she could easily just pull it off, right? So everything is so loose here. It's just loosely holding her there. So she's falsely imprisoned, right? So sometimes when we feel as though, we're caught up in a situation, or we can't see the way out of that situation, right? And we feel very vulnerable, and like everything is just very hopeless. It's really, a lot of the times it's in our thoughts, and it's how we change our thoughts to view the situation that really matters, right? So this is more, it's telling you, it's cautioning you to get out of your mind, right? Step out of this. You have whatever you need to, right? You have the willpower here to get out of this. And what's surrounding you is some beautiful energy. This is Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is the sort of the happy ever after card. It's the happy home, the happy family. It's the ultimate, right? Just like I said about the tens being, sort of the culmination, or the ending, or in this case, we have actually 3 tens. We have 3 tens in the reading, and I'll get to this in a minute. We have 3 number 8s in a reading, which is, quite significant. But with the Ten of Cups, so it's our emotion. So this is emotional fulfillment, right? This is emotional happiness, emotional fulfillment. It's feeling as though we have sort of everything that we need, right? The happiness, the family, the home. It's the happily ever after card, right? We see the beautiful family here. They're looking at peace. So it's a card that's all about blessings. So this, again, I emphasize the fact that it's in your mind, right? This isn't real, because you have this beautiful energy of the Ten of Cups around you, right? So, get out of your mind, get out of these, don't allow the negative thoughts to take over, because you have in your environment around you a very loving, right? There's a loving energy here with this Ten of Cups. What you hope, or what your hopes and fears are, you have the Eight of Wands. Now, the Eight of Wands is this very, very fast-paced energy, right? And the Wand suit, this is fire energy, and so it's creative energy. This is, it is linked to, also our work, because we can feel very, very passionate about our work. So it's usually tied to our work, or creative endeavors, or artistic endeavors, right? It's a suit that is all about creativity and strength and, courage and ambition. So very, it's fiery energy. And the Eight of Wands, it's fast-paced energy. You can see here that we have the unicorns charging down this hill, right? Just charging ahead. So it's decisive, quick, decisive action, right? And usually it has to do with messages coming in. So this could be, since it's fast, it's more like, text messaging or emails, or online communication, as opposed to like snail mail, which takes forever. So it's very quick news coming in, right? It could also have to do with finishing projects, reaching goals, things like that. But it's, it, next to the Strength card, it's sort of this unstoppable energy here, right? Very fast-paced, powerful energy. And the outbound card is the Two of Cups. Now, this is it's sort of the minor arcana Lovers card, right? And it's sometimes known as the soulmate card. And so it's that, we know that soulmates don't necessarily have to be romantic in nature, right? Sometimes our soulmates, they turn up as friends, they turn up as just, Sometimes they have to do with karmic ties. So somebody that needs to come into our life to teach us a lesson, or, you know, vice versa. So, but it does represent a connection, right? A very deep connection or bond with another person. This could be a partnership, or could even be a friendship. Could be something more serious, like a marriage, right? So, it's a wonderful card to have as the outbound energy, because it seems as though, you know, there's news coming in. You have the Ten of Cups here, and then you have the Soulmate card here, right? And the overall energy for the month is the Ten of Pentacles, which is a card, you know, again, earth energy, but much like the Ten of Cups, which is, it's a different energy than the Ten of Wands, right? But if we look at the Ten of Cups, this is sort of the ultimate love and peace and happiness card. Well, the Ten of Pentacles is the ultimate financial security card, right? And if we think about, you know, to make it to the 10 here, we see the woman, she's looking very satisfied, right? She has everything she needs around her, all of her earthly possessions. She's sitting in this beautiful, lush, green forest. She has this beautiful castle appearing behind her. So it's a card that really represents security, right? Financial security, a secure foundation, just, you know, feeling very safe and secure financially, which is a wonderful card to have as the overall energy for the month. Sometimes this card has to do with, like, the material possessions that are built up over time, right? Because you don't get to the 10 of Pentacles overnight. This takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of time to build up to that. Sometimes it's associated with inheritances or money, you know, that's handed down over time from one generation to another, that type of thing. It is interesting, though, that we do have, you know, the 3 tens, which, you know, I think it shows that there's sort of a mixture of achieving kind of that ultimate level of happiness and financial security, but at the same time endings, right? With the 10 of Wands here being an ending to a particularly difficult situation. And I do see that. I see that, you know, it looks as if you have felt quite emotionally, you know, unfulfilled and possibly bored. There might have been some type of difficult situation with some type of betrayal. But on the other side, you know, coming up sort of at past the middle of the month and going towards the outbound energy, it's just all positive, right? And what I was saying at the beginning, as far as, you know, I think you'll like the outcome, we have the 3 8s, right? We have the 8 of Swords, we have the 8, which is the Strength card, and we also have the 8 of Wands. The 8s in the Tarot, they're cards that kind of, what am I trying to say? They do bring about, like, the hard work, or, you know, to do with whatever the suit is. But having 3 8s in a reading, it can have to do with circular behavior, because we know that the number 8, right, is sort of that infinity sign. So it does sometimes have to do with, you know, with repeating patterns, repeating behaviors, sort of cause and effect, karma. But also the 3 8s in a reading, they're about like discipline, and sometimes they have to do with marriage, right? So it could be a marriage proposal with the happy family and home, and the 2 of Cups, the Soulmate card. I mean, that could be possible for some of my Pisces listeners out there. So I think that, you know, it looks as though there's sort of mental situation, mental energy surrounding some type of betrayal or feeling trapped. But overall, it looks like you're very financially secure. You're feeling very positive and powerful. Pay attention to the messages, like I said, with the moon, and you know, using your intuition, and pay attention to what might be uncovered at the different phases, right? The different moon. Like, I know that the full moon is coming up on November 4th, but pay attention to things that you might discover or uncover during that time. But overall, I mean, it looks like there's news coming in, right? And it could actually be a news about about a marriage. This could be a, out of nowhere, very quick marriage proposal coming in. And if it is, it looks like, you have this financial stability here. You have the emotional stability here. So it looks like it's, you have this strength card there. I think it's, a very positive. If it does happen, it's very positive. And this is a very good message for the month of November. Let me just read for you. I have the 2 additional cards that I pulled. I usually just read from the guidebook for those cards. Sorry, I had to turn off my phone. Okay, so the first card is card number 13 that says, I embrace my body. And it says, I am deeply grateful for this physical body of mine, which has carried me throughout my life. I honor and embrace all of my body, all her strength, grace, and beauty. May I listen to my body and trust her wisdom. She lets me know what feels right, what is best for my highest good, and where I need to be more protective of my boundaries. May I be receptive, compassionate, and loving to my body's specific needs. May I attend to her hurts in the most loving and tender ways as a mother would her beloved child. She has given me so much pleasure and has also weathered a great deal of pain. I bless my body. So I think that, that we could kind of look at these cards over here to tie in with that message, because, it's all about the, finding the balance and honoring your, the body and the good things, the bad things, right? All of the good things that you've experienced in life, as well as the, the pain that you've endured. So find the balance with that, right? And embrace that and honor that. And the last card is guilt. And this card says, the energy of fear has many guises to complicate your path to loving yourself. Guilt is the most devious because it is a wolf in sheep's clothing. It is a self-imposed emotion that pretends to be instructive and enlightening. Guilt can help us grow when we realize that our actions have been hurtful to others, which is in this card, right? And that we need to make amends. After we do so, though, it's time to learn from the behavior and move on. The problem arises when we hold on to a guilty feeling that serves no purpose other than promoting self-destructiveness and low self-esteem. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Guilt is not always rational, but if you examine it subjectively, act on it, and release it, it becomes a temporary emotion. Long-held guilty feelings are never good and will create a roadblock to self-love and happiness. You may continually scan your current emotions for any guilty feelings and bring them to the surface for analysis. Healthy guilt is a warning that action should be taken. Irrational guilt needs to be released. Okay, so I think, maybe that is part of this 8 of Swords and just feeling trapped, right? And this card, the guilt card, is just asking you to sort of get out of that prison, right? That self-imposed prison. Release anything, any beliefs that are no longer assisting in your soul's growth. Okay, because it does look like it's going to be a very nice month for you, possibly with some news coming in. So if that's the case, then congratulations. But just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light, and I hope that the messages have helped you in some way. And I look forward to reading for you again next month. All right, bye.